Greetings, greetings, greetings. We at the factory 2717, and this is a special run. Tell that because we need to bring up information, glaring information. We have some other things we had planned for the show, but sometimes what we got to do, we got to be the ones to bring the information out. And some of y'all who are from Savannah, Georgia, Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia, you all familiar with a place called Benedictine Academy or Benedictine, school, a private school, a Catholic school that's here in Chatham County. Now, many people know about BC because BC does what? They win championships in football. And good evening, Reverend Betty Jones. Glad to have you all here. And we say to y'all, share, share, share. And I'm at 2717. And you all know that we do some of our shows. Coach Sam Carter also comes on the show also. And we deal with fitness and deal with regards to social consciousness. So we are here right now for social consciousness right now because an incident happened in Savannah, Georgia, 2022. It happened on January 10th, 2023. It happened here, and no other media outlets have gone forward with it. In fact, one media outlet here, Savannah Morning News, they kind of indicated to folks that they couldn't say anything about the story because they can't say anything disparaging or anything negative about Benedictine. They can't write negative stories about BC. Now, I'm going to put it out there. Yes, I know some of the young athletes who are starring at BC, doing great work at BC, playing for BC. I got mad respect and mad love for them. But for the institution itself, I have major problems because Benedictine, though it is a private Catholic school, it does engage in racism. And we know this, and it has gone on. This is not the first time that we've seen racism at Benedictine. That, again, we have seen it for decades. Going on some 30 years, we know about racial incidents that have happened at Benedictine, but what happens after, we are silent. And so y'all probably hear the clapping and other things going on because there's a game going on and also they're doing training. So we are here. Run Tell That is breaking the news with regards to this, putting out there, and I'm saying share, share, share. Last night, Savannah Christian Preparatory School, which is a private school also, played Savannah Country Day, another private school. They played at Savannah Country Day. What happened on last night, approximately 40 students from Benedictine, from BC, they came over to Benedictine cadets. I tell people they're not cadets, they are bullies. That is the bully cadets. And so they went over to Savannah Country Day where a game is being played. They are going there as spectators. What then happens is that they are there in the game. And again, Savannah Christian has a number of African-American players on their team. They are there. So what occurs, the folks are now making monkey sounds, monkey noises. They're doing monkey noises. That's Coach Carter them playing the gospel music right now. But again, so they're making monkey noises inside the gym to the African-American players for Savannah Christian. Now, that's bad enough. And you all seen with schools in Texas and other parts of the country, when they've done things like that, those students have been chastised with regards to that. But what happened at Savannah Country Day was that after the game, it gets to get a little wilder. And so when I say wilder, because one parent said to me that it was a riot. Wait a minute. What are you saying, Jamal? There was a riot in Savannah? One parent, again, it's not me saying this, a parent said that to me today, that essentially it was a riot. And so they're playing gospel right now real loud like they're at a concert. But again, we're here at 2717. What happens that the police officer who was supposed to be there to protect and serve and make sure that everyone was protected in the environment, he allowed the Savannah Christian players to go out the tunnel or got the door that they were supposed to go out, but then allow those Benedictine cadets to now leave out the same door who had already been taunting these young men. So when they get out there, they then begin to assault and battle the young men. And so again, let's understand, these are African-American males. They are now assaulting and battering African-American males. And they have to now basically try to defend themselves against a horde of people from Benedictine Academy or Benedictine School. And then guess what? The officer does nothing about it. The officer is Caucasian, and the officer, he actually tried to blame the African-American athletes for the incident. The coach for Savannah Christian has to address him with regard to that. That's from information that I have received. From what I understand, that there's an employee for Savannah Country Day who is an alum of Benedictine, that he took some photographs with regards to what transpired. And he was embarrassed by the action of those Benedictine bullies, those bully cadets, with regards to now attacking. They were calling them the N-word also, calling them the N-word, and it got so deep that the Caucasian coach for Savannah Christian, that they even went and spat, they were spitting on the African Americans. Okay, now I need to go back. Not only did they assault and batter them physically, but they also went and spat on them. And then they took it to another level. They went and spat on the Caucasian coach for Savannah Christian. So, and then also from a report, one person said to me that also called him an N-lover, because he now had to defend his young African-American athletes who are now at Savannah Country Day. Again, Savannah Country Day, it happened there, but it was students from, I should say, criminals from Benedictine, from BC who went there. For so long, we have seen Benedictine engage in activities against African-American males in particular, and nothing happens with regards to that. That's why this morning, as I told folks when I got the information, I said that I was going to go do one of my videos over there, but I said, no, we got the show. I'm going to do the show specifically with regards to this. When will we be tired of this? When will we be tired of this? And what can we do about it? When you ask the question, Tiff, we can now begin to let other media outlets know about this right here. But then also we started a campaign with regard to tell folks, we don't need to support Benedictine. We should not support BC. I'm saying it right now. And someone said to me, she said to me that we need to let the Black alums of Benedictine know, or BC know. I did contact one of them. One of them called me just before we got on the show. I told him I will call him after the show. I then also said to folks that we need to let African-American parents know that when you sending your students over there, your young child, you're sending your child over there, you need to understand the environment they're walking into. Just because they might win a state championship, what about the dignity? What about the dignity of our youth? We are supposed to be their protectors. We're not protecting them, parents. And I'm throwing it out there because what happened, the person sent me the information, and he then said to me, he said, tell all your African-American friends who got their sons over at BC about what happened. Because now he was putting it out there saying, we send our children over there, and guess what happened? They get treated like dirt. Got attacked at Savannah Country Day. Inside the gym, at the game, making monkey sounds. Basically saying, again, denying their humanity. And then from what I understand, and so it shows you how misguided some of us are, that one of the African-American Benedictine cadets who goes with these Caucasians over there, he is so bold and blazing with regards to the madness, and I would go and say the self-hatred that, again, they put inside of him, that he go and then grab the hat off of one of the other students who's at the game. Yes, ma'am, Reverend Betty Jones, this is horrible. And that's why I said that's why we had to do a special one, tell that, to let folks know we need y'all to share this information, because the media here, some of them do not want to do anything. Now, there are two media outlets who want to do something, but because now it is now turned into a legal matter, possibly, because some of the parents, African-American parents, are now saying they need to pursue legal action with regard to this when they found out about it. And not just legal action, but criminal action. And so, as I shared you, one of the parents, when I said that it was a riot at Savannah Country Day. Now, some people might try to downplay that, but that's what they say. When you have African-American males who are being assaulted predominantly by Caucasian males, and then again, like you say, one misguided Negro, because he wants to fit in, he goes along with it. But again, it's all tied to the same system of racism. And so as I share with y'all, they said, hey, let the Black alums know. I talked with someone, and that person told me and shared with me that some of the Black alums began contact when they found out about this. They began contacting some people and telling them about the experience of racism that they had at Benedictine themselves. So that's why when people try to act like this is brand new, this is not brand new. This is always going on. Reverend Betty Jones, guess what? The information that I have received is that basically they are told, or at least it is conveyed to them, not to say anything negative about Benedictine. They don't put any negative news in BC. So I'll go back and tell you what happened last year. Last year, I contacted Dennis Knight. That's why this is not third party. This is first party. He sent an email to Dennis Knight last year to ask him about a coach at Benedictine who called one African-American football players there the N-word on 2 occasions, all in one time, called the N-word twice. I said, you all report about other schools and other coaches, but you said nothing. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to investigate that right there? They will later terminate the coach, but still yet, nothing is said about it. And so, Reverend Betty Jones, it continues even now. We need to start a hashtag or start a campaign to tell folks to boycott BC. Yeah, some people think because they might win a championship. So how much does that championship cost with regard to the dignity of your child? So here go Black parents allowing their Black child to be subjected to racism and discrimination. You can't go and run and talk about a Donald Trump when you got it happening in your own backyard and front yard in Savannah, Georgia, in a place called BC. And here go Black alums at BC saying we experienced the same thing. Of course, I know that there'll be those apologists who will go and say, oh, no, it's not like that. But guess what? There were Black alums who contacted folks when this went out. And so I did send it out to some media outlets, and 2 of them, they're trying to get additional information. But our Black media is the first one to go put it out there publicly. Tell that on our Black media. That's why it's important for us to have forums like this. And just to share this with you, the accounts that I have is that one of the coaches from Savannah Christian had to comfort one of the 15-year-old players. This 15-year-old African-American male is not understanding why this occurred. That again, and the Savannah Christian personnel, they were hurt by this. And they're not Black, they're Caucasian. That the Caucasian personnel from Savannah Christian, that they looked at this and they're engaging in conversation. They then said, wait a minute, that the pain that you're all going through, I may not fully understand it. But the fact that they're seeing the pain of the people that they're supposed to be protecting and they're supposed to serve as their guardians, they are not empathizing with regards to that. Guess what? You will have Black folks here in Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, who will make excuses. But here go Caucasians who witness the pain of these young teenagers, these African-American boys, witnessing them experience pain, because this is the first time that they, get an obvious slap of racism. And so then here go, when they not come out there, that's when those roaches then scatter. And just like I come, those criminal roaches then scatter when now they realize that they're not being exposed. And that there's a personnel at Savannah Country Dance, we understand, has took some photographs, as we shared. From what our information is that he is an alum of Benedictine and that he was embarrassed by this right here. Yo, to Black parents, I said this before, when are you all going to stop allowing your children's character and their self-esteem to be tarnished and damaged by other people just because they're playing sports and they bring in thousands of dollars for that school? You can send them to a public school and it'd be just as good. But guess what? You think because they're going to get more notoriety. Instead, you don't understand. Your child is experiencing some anguish right now. And should they experience that at 14 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old? No, they should not. Other children are protected. Why don't we protect our own children? We fail to protect our children when we go and allow this type of stuff to happen. And so now I go to this point right here, that the people, as I was saying this, as administrators, as staff, as faculty, as coaches, it is our responsibility to protect the children that are in our care at that moment and at that time. And what we saw, it was a failure on the part, again, here go law enforcement, failing to protect our children, law enforcement. And the officer, from what I was told, is a Caucasian male. And then he tried to blame the African-American athletes with regard to this situation. It is absolutely shameful and problematic. When are we going to stand up? I try to get information to find out, is this person, is he a county officer or is he a city officer? They were not aware. But then again, talking with folks in my own investigation, that again, they were discussing the pain of their own athletes, that they had to stand there and look at these young people right here and understand that they were assaulted and battered with regard to the N-word, the monkey calls and all of that, and then physically assaulted and battered also. And guess what? Now people are trying to tell people to be hush hush, trying to like do what they can, like, you know, to pay you off. But again, some parents, what I understand now, are seeking legal representation, may have already acquired legal representation to push this matter. And that institutions also are saying that they are now questioning, should they even participate athletically with regards to Benedictine? That, yeah, Reverend Betty Jones, you're correct. The officers should be investigated also with regard to that. That's right, my boy. That's right. Proud of you. Yes, yes, yes. That's right. And so that's right. And here go my boy. He's going to say had to stand up. I ain't going to call his name out. But again, I got mad respect and mad love for him. He's one of the people. And what people are trying to say, that it never happened. It never happened. And as you all just witnessed, he just came and said he had to stand up. Because here go, we thrust our children in these environments. And then you have these other people going and say, oh, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. They lied. And one person would have said, you all can go and say that it's a lie, but talk to my African-American athletes and ask them, was that a lie? So again, we are hush-hush and we are quiet with regard to this. Savannah Morning News, I'm going to put it out there. You all might want to look at the Savannah Morning News and rely on them for information. You might rely on them. That's right, rely on them. Again, and they're going to give you some lies or they're going to be quiet about it. And this is not the first time. And so, yes, the officer should be investigated. And from later on, what I found out also, that some of the Country Day people said they had heard the calls also. They had heard the calls also. Again, the monkey calls, they had heard that also. From what I understand, that some of the other school officials also, I think from Savannah Christian, had also heard the calls also. So a question that was posed to me by a parent, when I did, again, doing my own investigation, the parent said, if everybody heard that, why didn't they put a stop to it right at that moment, at that time? Why wasn't somebody stopping them right there inside the game at that moment, at that time? I guess I gotta say, Black lives don't matter here when it comes to Benedictine. And again, but we don't want to do that because again, we are private schools. We try not to do anything. And but there's some photographs. But I will say this: I have no problem. I told some of the coaches, I said, give me some. If the parents don't mind, I'll at least put the parents, give the parents, tell y'all to contact the parents and see what can happen with regards to that. But there's supposed to be some photographs. Now, whether the person gets the photographs up, that's a different story, which I did talk to some other media outlets and share with them that there's some photographs out there. And I indicated to them, hey, this person works for Savannah Country Day and is an alum of Benedictine. And so we can do an investigation with regard to that. Some people said to me that they did not want to talk on the air because I had invited them to come on the show. I did invite, so let y'all know, be clear about this. I did invite some of the people to come on the show, but because on their end also, it is now becoming a legal matter and that may become a criminal matter, they did not want to come on Run Tell That to put the information out there. So I want you all to understand, we did our due diligence also because I wanted to be known. And as I shared with you, one of the students who was involved in it from Savannah Christian just came up, and that's why he just did the acknowledgement. That's why I gave him the dap, because at least they were like, yeah, he had to defend, he had to protect his own fellow athletes. It is shameful in Savannah, Georgia in 2023, and here go a school in a city that's predominantly African-American, and you have a city council predominantly African-American, you have a Chatham County Commission that is equal, that now we have this going on in our city. And some of y'all don't even know about it because you have media outlets not saying anything. And that Reverend Betty Jones, yes, they wanted to be swept underneath the rug. They want to sweep under the rug, and they're trying to do what they can to try to bribe folks. And some of the parents, when they say, listen here, we have our own money. We have our own money, and we don't need your money. And that they're not going to sit silent with regard to this. Now, what may happen in the future, I don't know, but I'm going to let you know. Run Tell That, our Black media we're putting out there. So this is on the record. So it's on Facebook Live right now on our Facebook page, but then also on YouTube. So if anyone ever want to talk to me about it, I am down. And just to let y'all know, when I was talking with folks, you may not see it, I was writing my notes. I was writing my notes with regards to what was being said to me when I was doing my investigation with regards to this. And the things that I heard that, which was interesting, one of the folks from Savannah Christian did indicate, they indicated that I think that some of my athletes might need counseling. I think some of our students might need counseling. One of the parents, I think some of my athletes might need counseling. Some of our students might need counseling. So here go personnel, here go folks, parents who are saying right now that these African-American boys, they never expected that to happen to them in their life like this. But now what has happened, they're saying that we think they might need counseling. And that folks have said to them, the door is open for you all to come talk to us. Parents are saying, you need to talk to us about this. Coaches are talking about this because, again, there are other coaches around this entire city who now learned about this situation. And I've talked with them about it, and they went and put it out there too, and advise and making suggestions to people about to some of the parents what needs to be done. Because this happened in our city. And one reporter asked me, when did it happen? I say it happened last night, January 10th, 2023. Happened right here in our city. And again, right now, we have some young people in our city who, again, actually, I should say this. You talk about driving while black. Guess what? Playing while black. This is what happened. Playing while black in Savannah, Georgia. And guess what? You don't hear nothing from it from any other media outlets, but we're doing it on Run Tell That and Our Black Media. And so as I share with people that they tried to display, because I got a text message and I read the text, let me do this. Oh, I'm going to do this right here. I'm going, because the text message, I mean, not the text message, the tweet is no longer there, but I'm going to share with y'all what was said in the tweet. I will let you all know. Bear with me just for a second. Some of y'all, if y'all saw the advertisement for Run Tell That, I had put it in there. So bear with me for the love of God. All right. This person wrote, never in my life have I ever witnessed such blatant racism. After a hard-fought loss tonight at Country Day, a BC student section with over 40 kids ran outside and started barking and calling out my players the N-word, tried to jump them, spitting on me and another coach, calling our coaching staff the B-word. I will do everything in my power to expose this incident. It's a damn shame that my kids had to hear this. Kids are not born racist. They are taught. Excellent point. So the parents and the environment that these people from BC come from taught them this and engaged in this. And so y'all try to fight against us telling the story of our humanity. This is what they represent when y'all talk about this right here. When y'all talking about don't tell, teach the history of everyone. This is what it does. It furthers the minds of some people that other people are not human and that they can do anything they want to them. They're privileged. And here go, what happened. The person also tweeted, because the tweet, like I said, I put it out there. And people don't have to believe me. My African-American players who have already gotten messages will disagree. So yeah, they tried to tell people, and that's what I'm saying. People here in Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, Georgia, they started saying that it was a lie, that it wasn't real, that it was false. You see the smoke screen type stuff? I will use another word, but you see that smoke screen type stuff? So here it is. They want to convey to people that that really didn't happen like that, that's a lie. As I share with y'all, one parent went and said, he called it a riot. That parent called it a riot. That again, and so here go, African-American students had to like try to protect themselves from the onslaught of a predominantly Caucasian group of BC bully cadets. So I'm saying to Benedictine coaches, I'm saying to Benedictine alums, Benedictine staff, what are y'all going to do publicly about this? Or y'all want this to be all quiet? Because that's what y'all have done for over 30 years. Y'all have, excuse me, I'm going to go back in time and say 40 years. Y'all done this 40 years pretty much. Been quiet about the discrimination. I know people out there like right now, Nadra Diaz may not want me to talk about, but he can talk about his experience there at Benedictine. And again, others can talk about the experience, and it happened right here. And so now we have, I need to say this. One of the things that they said that they do not want us to stand idly by, and that they don't plan on standing idly by. and that they're going to do what they can to try to make sure that those African American boys, young men, those teenagers are protected, and that they have the support of a community where they are going to school at. So now that's the school with regards to making sure that they come around and try to protect them, and then their parents. So I'm saying to our local community right now, and our community outside, our Black media family, the Run Tell That family from around the entire country, they're now going to address this. Send emails to Benedictine. Send emails to Benedictine and say that we will no longer tolerate your racism, your blanket racism, and that you now will have these culprits in your midst. I need to let you all know this also. From what I've been informed, I've been told that what they've tried to do, they are at Benedictine, they're looking for the culprits that were involved, and so that there's supposed to be some photographs. So that's why, with regard to some people, the video footage and some of the photographs, so people are now trying to say, hey, where can we get some of those photographs? And like I say again, an alum of Benedictine, so they have some of the photographs who works at Savannah Country Day. So they're not trying to identify the people that were involved in this. Though again, those criminals, those roaches that were involved in, and I said roaches, yes, because roaches and rats scurry when light come on them. And so now allegedly they have gone and have some conversation to try to find out who these people are who assaulted our young people. See, now I see if it had been reversed, if that had been, let's say, a public school, if it was a public school, thank you, Brother Bernard White. We appreciate that. That's why I said we wanted to put it out there. And as I told, again, our president for our Black media, Julius Hall, I say, we're going to be the ones to break this and put it out there. Not that we want to get accolades for that. We want to show people that, again, that's why it becomes essential for us to do this. And yes, Ellis, you're absolutely correct. And that's why I said they went at them, attack them, again, not respecting their humanity. People who know me said the one thing that I demand that you respect the humanity of our people. I demand the respect of everyone of their humanity. And so in this case, here go our children not respected, playing while Black. Yes, and to those people who know me, again, you got your child out there, you got your little brothers out there, you celebrate, you tout all this wonderful stuff about Benedictine, about BC. I'm saying now, I call it into question right now. And as I said, one of the alums, I'll be giving him a call and talking with him. And then I'm not saying it is all inexcusable. Heard what I just said? It is inexcusable, this type of action, this type of behavior. And again, we now have our children who have now been terrorized. Oh, why do I want to throw some of this out here and put this out here? Because good people who know what's going on sit silent. And when you sit silent, you are complicit with regard to this hatred and this racism. Because this is racism at its finest. This is the system of racism at its finest. Because even if you are Black, you can engage in promoting the system of racism. We see that. We see that all the time with people in positions of power or of authority who not aid and abet. Because just like the system of racism played a role with regard to the death and the life of George Floyd. Again, that's again system. You might have somebody people of color there, but they engage in the system of racism. So guess what? Don't think that because you might have a Black person around that's excusable with regard to when the actions that you take. No, it's not. It's still the entire system of racism. And I don't care when some of y'all try to soften the blow. We will not soften the blow with regards to that. That is the truth. That is a fact. Because as Ellis just thrown out there, Ellis, I'm coupling what you was doing, what you put out there. That again, that's all a way to try to deny our relevance, and I take it on to deny our humanity. And with regards to now, what needs to happen, we need to mount a campaign to let people know what happened, what transpired, and then let these African-American boys know that their community will rally around them, because those are our children. When I was told about this, I was mad. I was furious, because I'm like, those are our children. They don't have to be my physical children. And so now to share this with you, some of the young men who were there, who for Savannah Christian, who were attacked, I know them. I'm around them. I train with them. So I understand the values that they are taught. So here you go. That's why I say these are our children. So that's why I had to make sure, and they know, or at least I try to project them out. I will stand up for our people. I will stand up to help our people. And this is a situation that I'm like saying, I got to stand up. Because when I received the information, I'm like, wait a minute. And folks now tell me, that's so-and-so. That was so-and-so. That was who was there. That's when they took his hat inside the game. And so I'm like saying, wait a minute. So here go people that I'm around, young people I'm around, responsible young people that, again, these are young people who have character, that they were the ones that were being attacked. So that's why I tell you, so it's not, some of y'all might want to say, oh, they were thugs. Guess what? These are not thugs. These are some young people who are positive, who are trying to do great things in the city, who are doing great things in the city. But guess what? They got attacked and hit with racism. And so that's why we need to stand up to the plate. And good people, you cannot sit silent with regards to this right here. Good people cannot sit silent, because when you sit silent, you are complicit in this action of racism, this action of discrimination that comes from a place called Benedictine. And so I will say this to you. That is the same way that when these people talk about they don't want you to know about the history, when you go back in time, that they fight you about talking about, don't say that America is a racist country, America, and they use that as a smokescreen. You understand that's not anything brand new. So you need to stop that. When people go and talk about this stuff like that's brand new, stop that. That's a political game, a political football, a political soccer ball, a political basketball, a political baseball, a political tennis ball. That is a game that is played to cause you now to go off track and for you not to be focused. It has always been said from the very beginning. So that's why I'm like, it is basically being addressed even in what we know is the Declaration of Independence, that it is addressing that right there. If your mind don't understand that, then that's you. I ain't got time to waste with you about that. But race is a factor with regards to, and human dignity is a part of what we know as the Declaration of Independence. But I'm just throwing it out there. So when some of you all try to dismiss this and say, oh, don't talk about it, you don't want it to be known, because that's what some of your grandparents did also when they were lynching African Americans, lynching some Caucasians, but predominantly when they're lynching African Americans. That's what happened also. Some of your grandparents and your great-grandparents do not want it to be known about their roles or their hands, their unclean hands, that were playing a role with regards to people being killed, being lynched, that story not being told. So then that way they hide it from their children. So then their children act like everything was okay, and that another group of people were not, they were not being human. Another group of people have no desires. Another group of people don't want to achieve that, but not letting it be known that their unclean hands have played a role in the oppression and discrimination and the racism against people of color, African Americans in particular, that they don't want to be known. So today, guess what? Those of you, and I'm gonna say this to those internet trolls, to those apologists, to those people who engage in racism, you don't want it to be known because you don't want to be exposed. You don't want the light to shine on you all. And so I'm saying this to you all. Guess what? It is time out for all of that. It is time for us to stand up and speak out for the truth. If you are afraid with regard to that, then guess what? Go on the side. We need another group of people who are vigilant, diligent, who are unafraid, who stand on the principles of what God has put in the air, all of us, that we have these God-given rights to have our humanity respected, and that we stand up on truth, and that we do not aid and abet the evil that goes on in this society and in this world. And so those of you who sit silent, who try to ignore, who are apologists for it, you are aiding and abetting with regards to evil. You are aiding and abetting with regards to racism and discrimination. You are helping this to continue. And as I shared, I said, guess what? This is a contemporary lynching type program event that happened right here. Well, here go African Americans who are being attacked in Savannah, Georgia, in a city that's predominantly African American, with leadership predominantly African American. But guess what? It goes right back to the poverty issue that we have here, that again, other people can excel, but other people are minimized, and that they're not given a chance to excel. When other people, those who are excelling, were given those opportunities. So don't even come and play this game with me, because even Dr. King talked about that. How can you tell people to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and they don't have any boots, and you never even gave them any boots? Well, other people, you gave them the boots and it gave them the bootstraps. So it's easy for them to do that. And so right now, here go our babies. Again, I want to say our babies, our children at a game, and they get attacked. When will it be enough, Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, Georgia? When will it be enough? So I said, start the campaign to let the folks at BC know we will not stand for this. I say, email the headmaster, email the principal, email the folks at BC. Let them know that we're not happy about this right here. Let them know that we want this exposed. Let them know that we want to have a conversation about this right here. We need them to right the wrong. And that it's not trying to give us hush money, because that's what they do. They give you hush money. So, they give you hush money, so I guess I'm going to go and give you all some of the background more so. Here go, hush money is given when you have a Caucasian athlete at Benedictine take a helmet and smash another African-American athlete in the eye, damage it, breaking the eye socket of African-American athlete. But guess what? Nothing happens. They say, oh, we don't have anything to do with that. Benedictine, 2 Benedictine football players. So again, that's African-American athlete. Then after that, you didn't go and have coach calling African-American athlete the N-word. Caucasian athlete has liberty to go and smash hit an African-American athlete in the face with a football helmet. And I should be clarified, a football helmet. This is not a lie. It's out there. But what you do, you give up that hush money with regard to that. Then also, what are you going to do? You then have somebody say, you know, coach who again, I say, as a coach, as staff, as faculty, as administrators, when you have these young people in your care, in your custody, it is your responsibility to take care of them. So what are you going to do? What you do, you go and say, hey, our hands are tied, or we're not involved in that right there. And so again, you are derelict in your duties. You are derelict in your duties. And so that's why, again, and so Assad, Ibrahim Assad, I'm like, that's right. And I'm glad we stand together in this right here. And Brother Mike Kelly, that's right. In 2023, it happened. And as I said, this happened last night. I got the text before 8 o'clock in the morning. And so that's why, when I should say, the screenshot of the tweet. And so I'll let y'all know this. The screenshot of the tweet, came from a young African-American boy, an athlete. So again, so they are looking at this right here. And so they sent out the tweet from what was said. And so that's why we had posted it. So y'all saw the advertisement for Run Tell That. It's still there. I posted it. It's still right there. You can go and see that. And so here go these young males, these young boys, these children, that they were the ones trying to put it out there because they also saw and understood that other people, adults, again, we're going to put that, adults were trying to say it was a lie. And some of these adults, they went as far to go after some students, after some young people, to tell them, to say, hey, that person from Savannah Christian is lying. So they began attacking young people. So see, that's what trolls do. Trolls will go and attack you again in the cover of darkness because they are rats and roaches. And so what do we expect from their children? Rats and roaches. And so they engage in this activity. This is shameful. Again, I say, email them at Benedictine, tell them that we are not happy about this. We demand justice for our young people. We demand an apology with regard to this. We demand a public apology with regard to this, and we need this rectified. The Black alums of Benedictine, I'm going to tell them the same thing. I'm like, you all need to go and address this, and you need to address this publicly, because for so long, people have sat silent with regards to all this that's happening at Benedictine. That we see that, and it's not just with regard to the athletes, we see with regard to the demerit system in general. That again, and that this is not brand new. This is not brand new. We have seen this with regards to athletes and other students who went, African-American children, males who go on to Benedictine, and the experiences that they have had. That again, some things are not excused for them, but then other people get excuses. And so we like saying, when will it stop? It will stop when we begin to speak out, when we begin to address it. That's why we have this platform known as Our Black Media, this platform known as Run Tell That, for us to discuss. And we, as we say to you, run tell that. So they ask what should happen, run tell that, because y'all know we're going to talk about it. Run tell that when we put it out there. So run tell that. Run tell that to some of you. And I'm going to say this because there's some African-American women who I know. At times I ask them, like, why y'all got this love for Benedictine? They talk about how their family members, how they went to St. Vincent, how their family members went to BC, and their relatives at BC, and all this other things like that. Their friend go to BC, and I want them now to understand, guess what? This is what they do to some of your people. And some of your people just endure it. They go along with it. They endure it. And so you can be a part of the 400, as they say, the 400. Some have gone and said that the 400 actually is like a gang. The 400, because you see the advertisement talking about the 400, that they're elite, and they have won a state championship. And so don't let me even go there with regard to how they maneuver themselves to be at that level, because they are afraid to go to the higher level. And that's again, but they now force them, they have the Board of Education to now, or at least the Georgia House Sports Association, to sacrifice a public school here on behalf of BC. When will it stop? When will it stop? It will stop when we finally begin to speak out and get go. And as I said, run tell that. That's what we want y'all to do. We want y'all to run tell it. We want y'all to now go let people know that we are no longer going to tolerate this and that people will not control us. We will not be silent about this. And we're glad that y'all are sharing. We're glad that y'all are chiming in. And so again, and I'm just looking at this, just making sure that I got any other comments that people have said. And that's why people are throwing it under the rug, and that the officers should be investigated. Absolutely. And that when will we stand up? And we want our children to win awards, but then they're not treating them right. That's right. And Reverend Betty Jones, that's what some people say. So what happened? Our children are going over there and they're garnering those awards, those championships for them. But again, they're not just getting, and they're not doing you no favor. Understand this, that okay. So again, I say, and Musa, I see what you're indicating. That again, you try to help people. That's why I say it's our job. We have, our beliefs tell us this right here. When you see injustice, you are supposed to remove it with your hands. You're supposed to remove it with your hands. And if you can't remove the injustice with your hands, then you're supposed to speak out against it. And if you can't speak out against it, then you're supposed to disagree with it in your heart. But the weakest of all faith, I want to say to those of you who are faithful people who are spiritual people, is that's the weakest of all faith, just to disagree with it in your heart. What you're supposed to do so that you take action with regard to that. You're to speak out against it. So that's what we're doing right now. We're not going to sit idly by because, like I said, those are our children. And we must do that. And we must be vigilant in this fight with regards to that. We must be vigilant in the fight. And so, again, as I share with you all, our job is to put it out there and tell folks, we are not going to sit idly by, and we want y'all to not stop the campaign. We want y'all to not go and put it out there and spread the word. Let other people know what's happening. Because again, if some of the media outlets don't want to talk about it, that's why it's our job to be the ones to talk about it. And so again, it is shameful. It is wrong that we have people who are out here right now who tolerate that abuse. And so, and we think that because they might go to BC, that we are helping, that again, they're doing you a favor because your child is there. Guess what? Your child is playing and bringing that championship in. Guess what happened because of that championship? There are thousands of dollars that are coming into that school for those games. Football, basketball. Guess what? Thousands of dollars. Your child, you think because they might give you a break on the tuition or something like that. Your child is there. You think, they're doing you a favor. Do you not know that tuition don't even compare with regard to the thousands of dollars that they're getting with regards to your child being on that field or on that court? So again, you think, they're doing us a favor. No, it's not. You're doing them a favor, and that's why. And if you can't demand justice for your child, when your child doing a favor, bringing in thousands of dollars for them to get some acclaim, get some notoriety, because then guess what? Because they are bringing thousands of dollars again for the championships, guess what? People are coming to the school based on that also. So that means that even tuition, and then also we ain't even talking about the benefactors also who are not connected, that they still going to get the monies out. So you think that because they gave you that tuition for the 4 years, that absolves everything, and that you should allow your child to endure that punishment, that pain and that anguish. Excuse me. Because again, one of the parents just said to me that no, the scholarship is year to year. Year to year, year to year. Year to year. It's not even guaranteed. So back year to year. So, but guess what? You still bring in, your child has brought that residual benefit to them. That again, people come in there to the school, they want to be a part of the 400, and the 400 is basically almost like a criminal clique. Oh my God. Now for some of you, I'm gonna throw this out there. So some of y'all know about YSL. Y'all know with Young Thug them up in Atlanta, how the DA brought those RICO charges. Guess what? The 400 might be a RICO group. I'm just throwing it out there. We know they're not RICO, but guess what? They are a criminal organization almost, that they sanction criminal activity. So let's throw that out there. Let's think, as I tell my people always, I say, expand your mind. Let's throw those concepts out there right now. You have no problem criminalizing other people, but now guess what? Jamal Touré, Dr. Touré, Amir Touré, Jamal Touré, the one-man NAACP. And so guess what? I'm throwing it out there. The 400 might be classified as a criminal organization because guess what? They might be a gang. Oh my God, we had legislation that just talked about creating gang legislation also that was promoted by a state representative here. That again, they brought that forth. So the 400 and that group last night, oh my God, see how that insight comes? You see, that's divine right there. They were a gang that attacked those students from Savannah Christian. A gang attacked them. Yeah, it's all criminal. And we say nothing about it. We sit silent. And that's why I'm saying time out for all of that. And we need to, that's right, Ibrahim, that's right. It all needs to be investigated. All need to be investigated, and we will not sit idly by. We put it out there. We told folks. We share with other media outlets, and some of the other media outlets want to do some things, and so that they're just trying to get information. And as Tiffany said, that they want to try to find out that any video footage. But then guess what? I'm just thinking right now, there might be some cameras out there that were on the scene that, hey, if it goes to law enforcement, because I think some of the parents were looking at pursuing criminal charges, but there's some other people that said that, guess what this was? A hate crime. This was a hate crime that, again, as I shared with you, that was done by a gang, by, as I call them, bully cadets, a gang. But guess what? Because they don't come from a certain ethnicity, then you won't go and say that. But guess what? As I tell people, we are fair across the board. We don't care who don't like it. We're going to be fair across the board because, again, as I tell people, we have no fear of man or woman because we love God. And that God tells me to speak the truth. And if you don't like it, that's on you with regard to that. I'm going to speak the truth. As I said, those are our children. Those are our children, and we will protect them. And at least I can die tomorrow, but they can go and say, hey, guess what? Dr. Jamal spoke up for us. Jamal spoke up for us. That one right there, C. Lee spoke up for us. J. Lee spoke up for us. At least that's right. At least I know I have peace in my heart with regard to that. And I'm all good because I know somebody better stand up and speak out for our children because, again, they were taunted, they were attacked, they were battered, they were assaulted, and that some of and been traumatized. And as I said, we need to have some healing. People talk about healing all the time. We now need to heal some young people who experienced something that I know for a fact. They did not think that they were going to go to a game and that after the game, they'll be attacked. I know that when they were inside the game, inside the gym, they didn't think they were going to be attacked. I know for a fact that wasn't the thought that they had on their mind, that they thought they were just going to be the athlete, that they were going to go there and they were going to try to win this game, to improve their record and do what they're supposed to be doing, being athletes and being the best people that they can possibly be. But instead, they hear monkey calls, and then they go outside where here go law enforcement allowed, here go people that were taunting these young people already, allowed them to now go right out the same door with them. Wow. So here go law enforcement, who's the job is to protect and serve, wasn't even concerned with that right there. And that needs to be addressed also, as Reverend Betty Jones said, that he needs to be investigated also. And the information that I got, he then tried to hold the African-American youth who were attacked accountable. Again, these are African-American youth that were attacked. And you're trying to say that they are responsible. Guess what? You're going to try to tell me that when I'm trying to take care of my friends who are frightened, who are scared, somebody got to stand up and speak the truth and stand up against that injustice. I say, y'all, that our belief is that you remove injustice with your hands. I got to make sure I protect myself and protect the people around me. See, some of y'all so proudly brandish that type of stuff with regards to your weapons, that you take care of your family with your weapons and all that. But guess what? You ain't protecting our young people right now. You won't even open your mouth to protect our young people right now. You won't even take the steps to go protect our young people right now. So I'm saying to y'all, you need to start a campaign and say that we need to boycott BC. We need to boycott Benedicta. We need to boycott BC. We need the Black alums that are not going to address this. And we need to have a public statement regarding this right here. We don't need to be hush-hush no more. It's going on 30 years, 40 years, as I said. 40 years, 30 years, this stuff has been happening. And so guess what? What happened last night is indicative of what has always gone on and will continue. As I said, they smashed somebody in the eye socket with a helmet. Guess what? People don't even know about it. They're going to call somebody, an athlete who's playing for them, the N-word, who helped them get championships, call them the N-word twice. Guess what? Savannah Morning News sent them an email. They don't want to talk about it. They won't say anything about it. They didn't even respond to the email. At least I don't recall. They may have responded maybe weeks later after I sent them. I know for a fact they never responded back to me with regard to that. And so now you have this right here, that they had the audacity to go to another school. They go to another, not even their own school. They go to another school, and for them now to go and then insult our youth, our children, because these were youth, these were children. again, I say young men, I say teenagers, but again, how they going to classify their own, they were youth. They were youth. They were children. They were children. And that here go people sitting there who heard it, but didn't step up to the plate. That's why I had to say this to y'all. If that was me in that situation, I would have been addressing that. I would have had to say something. I would have had to go and tell the police, or I would have had to tell some other faculty members, some staff members that said, listen, hey, they need to be addressed. They need to be put out. They need to be removed right now because they're engaging in this hatred right now. That was an assault right there. And so now I'll share this with you too, that now we need to take it to another level because folks, when they say it's a hate crime, that's right. And I'm hoping that the parents are going to push this issue with regard to the DA. This need to go to law enforcement. This need to go to law enforcement so we can now punish them and not let this stuff be, as Reverend Betty Jones, we no longer sweep this under the rug. And Ibrahim, that we say speak out, Ellis, you say value, again, is about valuing our relevancy and as I'm going to say, our humanity. And just right, Bernard White, right now, 2023 in Savannah, Georgia, this happened. When will enough be enough? Or I guess somebody might need to die, and then even then they're gonna sweep it under the rug. But that's why I'm not gonna be the one to sweep it under the rug. Our black media, we're not gonna sweep it under the rug. Run, tell that. And as I say, that's why the name of the show is Run, Tell That. Y'all go run, tell that. As I tell folks, share, share, share. Just gonna be replayed tomorrow. Share, share, share. It'll be on YouTube also. Share, share, share. And they can't dispute the information that I just shared. Because I had a conversation and I talked with people about this right here and wrote it all down. It is disgusting that this happened in my city, in my town. And that some of y'all, as I shared, guess what? You don't want your history to be told. You don't want the full history to be told because you want to try to hide the fact that some of your grandparents and great-grandparents were involved and were tied to lynchings that occurred. You don't want to be known. And so guess what? Then your grandchildren and great-grandchildren engage in this action even today. Don't come running to me, tell me to have sympathy for you all when you have done wrong and you have caused injustice to occur and you live off of that injustice like you are better than somebody else. Hell no, it don't work like that. It is those of us who understand righteousness and understand what is good. It's our job to stand up and speak out and to come at you with regard to your evil. Wakil Jel Haq. When truth arrives, falsehood must perish. Falsehood by its very nature is bound to perish. It is time for all the evil to perish right now. And that's our job. That's been this segment this week of Run Tell That. Again, I said to y'all, boycott Benedictine, boycott BC, boycott it, put it out there. And to African-American parents, rethink your child being at Benedictine right now. Rethink your child being at BC because the 400 is a gang. If those are qualities that you want your child to have to be a gang member, oh, but when there's other people, it's easy to throw it out there about them being a gang member. So guess what? Like YSL, the 400 is a gang. This has been Run Tell That. We'll see you all next week. But again, boycott BC. Peace and blessings. Out of